Arcade Street in Watertown will exit to Stone Street temporarily. The one-way normally exits to Arsenal Street, but feedback from residents and city bus drivers resulted in a month-long pilot to see if the flip will help bus and traffic flow. City Manager Eric Wagoner says the pilot may not need that full month to be assessed.
If we get enough feedback and enough citizen feedback and enough feedback from the bus transit and from the bus drivers, from our fire and police, it doesn't have to go a full 30 days. It could be less.
Wagoner says he believes there are benefits to the switch for city buses.